Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. I said I would talk more about guns and gun culture, and today's finally the day. Now, around the world, there are several nations where guns are just a thing that people use and are very familiar with. Here in Canada, while it's not as much as in the States, there's a significant amount of gun ownership. Three gunning is popular, people love hunting and sport shooting. And there's lots of people, whether they're native or not, in remote communities where it's very important that they have a functioning firearm so that they can provide for their families. So here in Canada, hunting and sports shooting and just going to a range and doing three gun are very popular activities. As I mentioned in Switzerland, gun ownership is less of a right and more of a responsibility to defend the nation. This is similar with several Nordic countries like Finland, and I believe also Sweden and Norway, and other neighboring countries like Estonia also require military service, and so people become very familiar with firearms. And there's still, almost everyone has their grandpa's old rifle that they used in one of the wars, and they use it for hunting. Same with all of the former Soviet republics. People are very familiar with older Soviet weaponry and more modern things like AK-47s and AK-74s. There's also been some viral videos showing kids in Russia learning how to strip and put back together an AK-47. There's tons of places out there where guns are just simply a part of people's lives, whether it's legal or not, and it's kind of a traditional tribal warfare kind of thing. But in America, it is different. When it comes to guns, that is where American exceptionalism can actually really genuinely be applied. There's this problem that I have with gun culture in the States. Now, I can already imagine some people getting very mad, so allow me to reiterate right here, right now. I am not against the Second Amendment, nor am I against people defending themselves, be they minorities or not. I think the idea, in spirit, initially, of the Second Amendment is a very good idea. The problem is how it has been warped over the centuries and how in today's modern era, the gun culture in America is what's causing the problem. Not necessarily guns and gun ownership, but it's the culture around it that is causing a lot of harm. As I mentioned a few videos ago now, I can't keep track. Memory is fried these days. In Switzerland, they have to be familiar with weapons so that in case Switzerland is attacked, everyone knows how to use a weapon and can serve to defend the common good. And to an extent, that's kind of what the Second Amendment was supposed to be about in spirit. Congress shall not infringe upon the right of citizens to bear arms within a well-regulated militia. Okay, so you go to the range, you train with this firearm, and then you keep most of the ammo in a depot, and you're always sure that you're ready to actually defend the motherland. But what is the Second Amendment used for these days? It's for either collectors who just want to collect all the guns, or it's for preppers, people who feel that tyranny is going to come and it's going to be them and maybe a handful of their friends, which again begs the question why you need 30 different guns, but I digress. But the core of the problem is how school raffles in middle school will say, enter and have a chance to win an AR-15. Buy a new truck, get a free shotgun for hunting. 2 for the price of 1. Nerf guns now are looking more and more like real actual guns. Like it's still got the colors and the Nerf logo, but it loads exactly like a fucking Glock. And then you have other problems where this mythologizing of America's origin leads to the belief in the gun as kind of like a magic wand. You know, in the right hands, this casts a powerful spell that breaks tyranny. But this ignores the fact that, And, not to take away from those who fought and died in the American Revolutionary War, but a big part of what allowed you guys to win were that the French and Spanish empires also decided, hey, we don't like Britain, so it's in our best political interest to help these rebels. You owe your independence to the French and the Spanish on top of your own sweat, blood, and tears. But people seem to think that it was just by the might of the gun, by the gun in the Bible, somehow everything worked out. But that's a gross oversimplification of the history. And that sets the foundation for a mythology that persists to this day, where people think that, oh, they'll just be a good guy with a gun. And yet, while tyranny is creeping into America today, those sworn patriots are shaking hands with the oppressors. This is dangerous for a variety of reasons, many of which I'm sure people can already figure out. But this idea that somehow guns are the problem or that guns will save you, it ignores the gun culture. And the gun culture in America is one of myth, celebrity, fame, and magic. It is not based in reality. And when reality hits, it's going to hit really fucking hard for a lot of people, whether they were well-intentioned or not. But the fact that no one recognizes this or wants to talk about it or can even see that it's a problem is what's bothering me today.